Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Very good morning. All right. So, in yesterday's class, I think we were discussing about article writing, right? And in article writing, we saw what is the purpose of article writing an article. What does it convey? What is its use? Right. After that, we discuss the format of an article writing. I also show you one editorial article from Times of India. Right. So there is heading and subheading. Heading generally points out the main idea and it should be eye catching. Then there is byline, the writer's name. Then there is introduction, then 2-3 paragraphs explaining the main point, and then conclusion. Right. Then we discuss these points to remember. What shall we keep in mind while writing an article? For example, we should always keep in mind the target audience. We should always think of a short and eye-catching title. Right. The first line should be striking, opening, for example, such line which attracts the reader to read further. Right. Use standard language. Discuss the steps to write an article. The first step is to identify the target audience. See what is the importance of audience in an article. Generally, we directly start writing. Start writing. An article writing should always start with target audience. Right. Then identify the purpose of writing. Why you are writing. Whether you want to advise, you want to just suggest, or you want to just present your views. But after it is decided, then you collect information. Then you collect information about the topic. Right. Then organize this information in a specific order. And yesterday we saw this example that if you are writing on demonetization, these are the points you will first make out. Right. Then you organize all these points in a systematic way, in a coherent way. For example, first point should be what is demonetization. Right. Then reasons for implementation should be second. Then advantages of monetization, demonetization, problems caused by demonetization, and lastly solutions. Right. So once you organize your topics in such a systematic way, then you start writing your article. Right. And while writing an article, do not talk much about yourself. It should be of general interest. It should be keeping in mind the general public. Right. So you may express your opinion, but it should not be centered around you. Right. And use vocabulary and descriptive language appropriate for the article, linking words, proper expressions. and variety of vocabulary. See, that is why I'm emphasizing very much on vocabulary. That is why I want you to learn words. That is why I want you to maintain your personal dictionary. Learn at least 500 new words in the semester one. Not only related to this subject, but general word. 500 words. Total 500 words at least. Minimum. You should learn in this semester. Comparatively, your semester is also lengthier this time. Otherwise, semester would run at least, I mean, semester maximum run from 3 to 4 months. This time it is more than or around 6 months. So you have got more time. Please utilize this time. Maintain very good dictionary, personal dictionary. At the end of the semester, there should be 500 new words. Entry of 500 new words. Right? And see, again and again, I have told you the definition of new word. New word is a word that you don't know. The word that you did not know earlier is new word for you. Right? So coherent, for example, you came across a word coherence. If this word is new for you, then you should add it in your dictionary, personal dictionary. Vocabulary is very, very important for precis writing. You need to read and understand. You can read and understand only if you know the words. Article writing, you need to read a lot of on a topic and then you need to write about it. You can do it only if you know the words. Reading comprehension, read and answer the questions. Read a passage, answer the questions. You can do it only if you read and understand. You can read and understand only if you know the words. All activities here in this subject and in other subject are depending on vocabulary. So that's why maintain your vocabulary, learn new words. Right. Farjan says there was some problem, so he rejoined. All right, that is fine, Farjan.
Sir, did you got my assignment or not? Hello?
Janil, yes, Janil, I received your email, right, and your assignment is submitted. That is fine.
Okay, sir.
Let me check some of the assignments which I've received. I received Farjan's assignment. Farjan is forwarded to me. Yes, Nista sent assignment yesterday. Mayank Balodia sent his assignment yesterday. Janil sent his assignment yesterday. And Nishan Trivedi sent his assignment yesterday. Right.
Sir,
Now, yes, please.
sir, I'm sorry, I totally forgot to send that last question yesterday.
Right. Maybe you can do it today.
Yes, sir, I will. Surely I will do it today.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Now, this assignment C, as I told you earlier, we will discuss about it later. There are several things which I want to point out. But for example, the format of email itself is a problematic. Jayank, Janil has sent me this assignment. Mayank has sent me an assignment. So they haven't written anything. They have simply attached the file and sent it to me. While I told you that you need to draft a good email, then attach a file as an assignment, right? But that is all right, fine. That we will discuss later, and I will explain you what you could have done. At least the subject should be written in Mayank's assignment, for example. He hasn't written in Mayank's email, for example. He hasn't even written subject of an email, right? I told you to write down your full enrollment number, then your name, then your class, and formal email. Point is, but many of you haven't done it. Some of you have done it. Many of you haven't done it. We will discuss it later. Right. Janil, I mean, I saw your screenshot also. then too, I will think about it. I mean, let me check your assignment first, and then I will think about it. Fine. Right. All right. Fine. So let us, with this note, let us go to article writing. Let us read one or two sample articles so that we understand how to write an article and what article looks like. Now let us read this article 1, the color green, corporate consciousness, corporate conscience, corporate conscience or fashion statement. As we discussed earlier, short and catchy, eye-catching. So reading this article itself creates some interest. Color green, corporate conscience or fashion statement. Color green is greenery, right? So everybody is trying to contribute from their side about sustenance of environment. मगर क्वेश्चन क्या है कि इज इट जस्ट कॉर्पोरेट कंसाइंस? ये कॉर्पोरेट की वाकई में आंखें खुली है, उसको एहसास हुआ है इसलिए वो ऐसा कर रहे हैं, कि ये सिर्फ फैशन बन गया है? फाइन. एंड बाय लाइन, यू रीड द बाय लाइन बाय ब्रेंडन क्रेगी. बाय ब्रेंडन क्रेगी, right? So let us read this article and then we discuss about it. Let us read it, I mean, on our own. So you have this article, this study booklet, right? So I request you all to take 5 to 7 minutes time and read this article, please. I request you all to take few minutes time and read this article. When I say read, you try to read and understand. Find out meanings of the word. If there is any difficulty you face, you let me know. You ask me here, I will respond to you. And please try to read from your own study booklet so that it becomes flexible for you to move here and there. Right? Time is yours. 7 minutes from now. After 7 minutes, we will discuss the article also. Please, everybody, I will ask you questions. I will ask you to explain. So read accordingly. Can anyone please tell Farjan what what he is asking? Can anyone respond to Farjan? Farjan, it is cinch or sink? Done, everybody? Right? All right, fine. So the title is very interesting here. It is the color green, corporate concise or a fashion statement. Let us invite Renuka. Renuka, can you please comment on the title? What do you think? What do you understand from the title? Is it interesting? If yes, how? Or if it is not interesting, how can it be made more interesting?
Sir, it is interesting as it has the combination of uh, green corporate consequation and or fashion statement.
Mhm.
I
All
will
right.
take it as an interesting
Okay.
title.
Very very. Yes. Yes. Can you please tell me what is? Can you please explain this term, corporate concise and fashion statement? What does it mean? I mean, corporate concise.
So
I'm
corporate
I'm very sorry.
conscience means
Corporate conscience.
corporate conscience means that any strategy behind what they are making, or a fashion fashion statement means they are publishing something and then they are putting it as it is the new trend and you have to follow that trend.
Okay. All right. Very well. Fine. What I understand is corporate conscience means, is it really the voice coming from within? When you होता है ना realization. So have the corporates really realized? Have the corporates, big companies, industry, have really realized that this is not going well and they need to do some work about environment, right? Or they haven't realized, but this is just a fashion where they try to show that they are doing something for the nature, for environment. Otherwise, they don't care. And this is what the article is about. Right. Arjun, you asked the question. Can you please repeat your question, Farzan? What you wanted to ask? Is it sync or, I mean, it should be, in my understanding, SYNC. SYNCH. Okay, fine. It is SYNC. SYNC is short form of synchronization. Synchronization. Synchronization is combining few things together in a orderly way. कई सारी चीजों को एक दूसरे के साथ ऐसे ऐसे कोहेरेंटली मिलाना, right? कि वो एक दूसरे के साथ एक पूरी तरह से घुल मिल जाए. That is called synchronization. Sync is short form of synchronization. In Gujarati we call it shumer. Mer, shumer. Right? All right. Ishan, can you please tell us what the theme of the article, what is discussed in this article? What do you understand? Ishan, what is the theme of the article? What is the main idea of this article? Ishan. Okay, let us, Ishan, I think it's facing some difficulty. Let us invite Devansh. Devans, can you please tell us what the article is about? Yes, Devans. See, dear, you all need to respond, please. You are taking a lot of time. Right. So we changed the policy of classroom, and it's about research. Okay. Well, Devan says it is about research. Fine. But still, let me tell you, we changed the policy of the classroom. When you are asked something in the classroom, please respond to it. You need to respond, right? And in case there is some problem, difficulty you are facing, you need to explain it to me either during classroom or after the classroom, but within the same day, in the same day, right? By the end of the day, before 5 o'clock in the evening. During classroom, everybody please note, during classroom, if I ask you something, you need to respond. If you cannot respond, if there is any difficulty, you need to explain it to me during classroom or within the day before 5 p.m. in the evening. If you do not explain your position, I will mark you absent in that particular class. Right? I will mark you absent in that particular class if you do not respond to me. So, and the whole purpose is there should be some clarity of what we are doing. Right? All right. Now, let us move on to the next article. It is health problem of tattoos. When tattoos we mark on our skin, but there are some health problems related to tattoos. So that is homework. You are supposed to read it, please. Right? Health problems of tattoo is homework. This article number 2, you please read it at your home. And article number 3, genius has gender only in our mind. Now just think about the title. Think about the title, and let us invite Nista to comment on the title of this article. Nista, what do you understand by this title of this article? Genius has gender only in our mind.
Hello,
Fine.
sir. Audible?
Yes, yes, please. It is audible.
Uh, I think they are talking about the gender discrimination.
Right? Fine. Very well. They are talking about gender discrimination. Devans also pointed out it is about gender equality. Right? So those people, those who are intelligent, those who are skilled, those who are genius, they don't have gender. Anybody, any woman, any man can be successful. This gender ideology is only in our mind. Right? It is only in our mind. Right? So let us read it. Let us read it collectively. Let me invite Srina to read the first paragraph of the article. Yes, Srina, please.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, it is audible, please.
Yes. When Cambridge University advised its examiners to avoid words like genius and brilliant because they exclude women, many of us rolled our eyes and dismissed it as political correctness gone wild. But close our eyes, what's the first image that comes to our mind when you hear the word genius? Is it Albert Einstein, Stephen Hawking, or sir, can you pronounce this name?
Yes, it is Srinivas
Srinivas,
Ramanujan.
perhaps. Say Shakespeare or Premchand. Steve Jobs, whether you're female or male, odds are your mind sees a man.
All right, fine. So see how beautifully the first paragraph is constructed, right? When Cambridge यूनिवर्सिटी को बोला गया था, उसके जो एग्जामिनर से उसको बोला गया था कि वो जब उसको एडवाइस दिया गया था कि वो जब बात करे, वो जब पेपर सेट करे, जब इंटरव्यूज ले, तो उनको ऐसे शब्द जैसे कि जीनियस, ब्रिलियंट, उसको अवॉइड करना चाहिए। फाइन। और उसको क्यों अवॉइड करना चाहिए? क्योंकि ये जो शब्द है ना, वो सिर्फ पुरुषों के समावेशी है, उसमें महिलाओं को बाद किया जाता है ऐसे शब्दों के लिए। When such advice was given to the examiners of Cambridge University, many of them thought that it was political agenda. I mean, words like genius and brilliant do not have gender bias, right? उनकी कोई जातीय भेदभाव उसमें नहीं है। उन्होंने सोचा कि ये तो सिर्फ शब्द है, जीनियस और ब्रिलियंट। But research says that these words have gender bias. Well, for example, when we think of genius or when we think of a word brilliant, the image is which comes to our mind, whether I am a man or woman, the images that comes to one's mind are of images of Albert Einstein, Stephen Hawking, Srinivas Ramanujan, Shakespeare, Premchand, Steve Jobs. Hardly there are images of women attached to these words, genius and brilliant. Right? So that is why these people were advised to avoid use of such words like genius and brilliant. Right? All these are men, right? Gender of these characters, of these people. Albert Einstein was man, Stephen Hawking man, Srinivas Ramanujan, Indian mathematician, man, Shakespeare, playwright, man, Premchand, Indian novelist, man, Steve Jobs, founder of Apple, man. Right? So these words, genius, brilliant, are closely connected with men. There are a lot many genius women, lot many intelligent women in the history of mankind. But when these words are pronounced, generally the images that surface in one's mind are the images of men. Fine. So how to start an article? This is beautiful example that will generate an interest in the reader. Let us read second paragraph. Let me invite Farjan to read the second paragraph. Yes, Farjan, please.
Yes, sir. One This is a association effect of perception of other, which in turn affect their self-image and choice. Gender gap in science, for instance, can be partly explained by the notation that this area call for genius of raw naturally ability, which mean woman does not feel the confidence they possess.
Okay.
Reason
Yes. Yes, Farjan. Just a minute. Fine. Now, see, all of you, please. When we are reading, read as if you are speaking, coherent and lucid. Right. So you read in a flow, rhythm, right pose, right time, right tone. You read as if you are speaking so that it becomes absolutely clear and pleasant for others to listen to you. For example, these associations affect our perceptions of others, which in turn affects their self-image and choices. Proper speed, proper tone, proper poses, gender gap in the sciences, for instance, can be partly explained by the notion that these areas call for genius or raw natural ability which many women don't feel confident they possess. Reasons for that lack of confidence are also cultural, right? So make it, I mean, this reading habit we need to develop. And all of you, please read something every day loudly. Something every day loudly. One article, one page, something specifically from stories and novels. It should be read aloud. That will give you a charm of reading, right? So, Farjan, little more practice is required, my dear.
Okay, sir.
Fine, read something every day. And when we are reading, it should be pleasant for others. जब हम पढ़ते हैं तो दूसरों को सुनने में मजा आना चाहिए. जैसे कि कोई उनसे कोई बात कर रहा है, उसको पता नहीं चलना चाहिए कि वो पढ़ रहे हैं, तभी ये पढ़ना हुआ, right? Let us invite Srina to read the. I think Srina read, right, the first paragraph. All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Well, let us. Yes, yes. Then let us invite Dimant to read the second paragraph, please. Yes, Dimant, please.
Yes, sir. These associations affect our perception of others, which in turn affects their self-image and choices. Gender gap in the science, for instance, can be partly explained by the notion that these areas call for genius or raw natural ability, which many women don't feel confident they possess. Reasons for the lack of confidence are also culture. In the US, a depressing piece of research found that even 6 years old were likely to think only boys as brilliant. When processors are rated, it's men who describe as stars and visionaries, and the same qualities are overlooked or disparaged in women. Think of the routine put down hysterically, which literally means a disorder caused by the womb.
Okay, fine. Thank you, Dimant. Fine. So, in one of the research, when boys, 6-year-old boys, I mean 6-year-old children were asked to think of brilliant, and they thought of boys as brilliant, not girls as brilliant. Right? So, somewhere deep down in our mind, such ideologies are fit. Well, very well. Let us invite Krutik to read the remaining paragraph of the article. Yes, Krutik, please.
Yes, sir. The idea of a
And
lone
yes, yes, very sorry to interrupt. Everybody, please note how this article has been concluded. Right? How this last paragraph is constructed. Yes, Krutik, please now.
the idea of a lone genius is a romantic myth. Hard work, collaboration, and luck have as much to do with accomplishment as ability and a
I think there is some difficulty. All right. And the idea of a lone genius is a romantic myth. And see how this idea is, how this paragraph is concluded. This idea of lone genius means only boys can be genius is romantic myth. Hard work, collaboration is coordination, and luck have as much as to do with accomplishment as ability. And none of these traits are sexual characteristics. When hard work, collaboration, and good luck, when all these things come together, one become success. When one become genius, one become brilliant. And these things don't come with gender. sexual characteristics, right? Somebody, because somebody is man, the person can work hard, the person can collaborate, and person can also have good luck. It is not so. Women can also have the same things. Thinking harder about how we fling around words like flair and brilliance might foster a better intellectual climate all around. So, thinking about these words, how these words are used, flair and brilliance and genius, and using these words correctly may change our perception about gender idea, right? So that is about, this is one or two samples we have read today. In this section on article writing, which deals, sorry, this section on article writing deals with the nuances of how and what about an article. With an easy explanation provided, the topic becomes fun to read and understand. As aspiring corporate officials, you all aspiring corporate officials, students should be required to express their thoughts and put them on paper about day-to-day affairs. Please note, you will require to put your thoughts into on paper. Day-to-day affairs, company strategies, political events, etc. Various examples, practice exercises will help the students to develop insight, and hence they will be able to write better. Right. So that is article writing. Two sample we read. One of the samples we also discussed in detail. Now it is time to write. Now it is time to write an article. Right. So I will share article title with student's name. Right. One student will be given one article. So I will share the article titles with student's name, and you need to write article on this topic. But since you are going to appear for examination, uh, maybe after the mid-semester examination, I will explain it or announce it. Right? Any question, query, please? Anything you want to ask? All right, fine. So I think otherwise all students are present. So I will take your attendance accordingly. With this note, we stop here today. Thank you all for your time. See you all in the next class. All the best for your examination. Fine, you prepare for examination. If there is any question, query, you get back to me, you ask me.